Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is Many a True Nerd, and welcome back to Fallout London. Well, last time, I got my hands on the world's fanciest hat, and explored a Lovecraftian nightmare that may or may not have actually existed. And as a result, I have now got a Lovecraft's Presence, a magnificently powerful item that has seriously bolstered my special stats. The only downside being, yes, it did lead to a rather unfortunate case of a wibbly night vision that never went away. And I found that a bit annoying, so I'm gonna be honest, I just straight up modded that out. I'll link to the mod I used to get rid of the visual effect down in the description. And today, right, we've got all sorts of bits and pieces to take care of here in Westminster. Though, first on the list, my good friend Mad Jack, who I'm pretty sure during the Labyrinth did go up to a new tier of reputation with me, meaning, if we're lucky, he might just have a new mission for us.
Hey, remember when I asked to talk? Can we now?
We absolutely can, Jack, and I'm sorry we didn't at the time. The only reason was we were surrounded by eldritch monstrosities that were trying to kill us. So, go on then, my friend. What do you want to talk about?
Okay, so, we're mates, right? Well, mates know stuff about their mates, and stuff. Or at least, that's how I've seen mates act. Like how mates know each other's favourite colour and that. Just friend stuff, you know?
So, okay. Would you like to know my favourite colour, Jack? Because, would you believe it's a very nice rich purple?
No, I mean, yes, I do. But that was just an example. I just feel like you should know more about me and stuff. Like how there's a real reason why I wanted to get out of my gym so bad. I started feeling a certain way down there that I've felt before. Have you ever felt like something punched a hole in your chest, and no matter what you do, it keeps getting bigger? Like all you know how to do is punch, but punching the way you're punching is only reminding you of when punching made you feel sad and scared, and you're stuck punching that way anyway. And then it feels like there's no way out, and that hole in your chest just keeps getting bigger and bigger until it swallows everything. Does this make any sense to you? Probably not. I must sound stupid.
Oh no, Jack, not at all. In fact, I do like the way that Mad Jack is written, which is, you know, just because he's not very good at speaking, his vocabulary's a bit limited, it doesn't mean he's a simple character. It's just Jack's not very good at vocalising it, which is a really interesting challenge in terms of writing a script and then voice acting it, which are both done really well for Mad Jack, so, okay. I think I roughly know what you're saying, and yes, with sufficient perception, we can actually put a name to it.
Yeah, I guess that is what it is. That sounds about right. But there's more to it. When I first started punching as a kid, I did it out of fear. Fear of bullies at first. But later, fear of survival. I did things I never think about, 'cause they make me feel that way again. Being stuck down in that basement gym, punching people, hurting people, that don't deserve it for no good reason. It took me back to a dark place. Last time I felt that, oh God. Never mind. I don't think I should say.
Right. So at some point in his past, he did some sort of very traumatic act of violence for survival. I'm sure he's good at punching, it's a living, but it also reminds him of that time. So, go ahead, no judgment. We need to know what's wrong so we can figure out how to fix it, Jack.
Well, that feeling got so bad, I'd do anything to make it stop. So I did the only thing I could think of. I tried to hang myself from the biggest tree I could find. But I'm so big and stupid I couldn't even do that right. When I was gasping for my last breaths, I heard a loud snapping sound and I blacked out. I woke up on the ground with a big bruise and a broken noose around my neck. And I never took it off.
Right. I assumed the noose was just part of his costume, the act he put on in the ring. But as it turns out, no. So okay, you've been through some real dark stuff, Jack. And that is true. Was there anyone you could ever talk to about this, like say anyone else at the gym?
Talk to who? I had no mates, no family. Nobody cares what a big, scary monster like me feels. I just had to make it stop. I didn't know what else to do. But I thought you should know, that since we're mates and all, ever since I joined up with you, I feel a lot better. There's something about punching alongside your mate that feels right. Like I'm punching for the right reasons.
Okay. I don't want to, like, ruin this nice moment or anything. But I'm gonna be honest, Jack. Sometimes when you're punching for me, you're not punching for the right reasons. Sometimes I do really, really bad stuff in Fallout games. So, okay. I'm glad you shared. No judgment whatsoever. If you want to, like, you know, go and do something, you let me know. We'll go do it. And okay, nothing more from him just yet, which means, while we're in Westminster, I want to get to, yes, that McGibble I've been mentioning for a few episodes now. Submission floating around somewhere up here that is apparently sufficiently interesting. Yeah, you wouldn't want to wrap up a playthrough of Fallout London while missing it. So, right, as I understand it, I want to mosey northwards in this direction towards the top of Westminster. Because, yeah, this is pretty much the only bit of the map I've not really been into. And here we go. Apparently, I'm looking for a medical facility, and I see one right up ahead. Lovely. Here we go, just round the corner. We should be almost at some sort of medical facility or another. NuSkin. Oh. I've seen this mentioned on the loading screens. This is like, you know, where you go if you want to change your face or whatnot. In base Fallout 4, there's a doctor who could do that in Diamond City. But apparently, yeah, there's something a bit more to it. Though simultaneously, the game also just prompted me to investigate the university, so, okay. There might be, like, you know, a whole bunch of stuff just hidden in this corner of Westminster.
I have a task for you that requires your particular set of skills. The university is a keeper of knowledge that would otherwise be lost to time, and naturally, we must ensure that this knowledge is kept safe. We've discovered a mysterious code that has been appearing on several of our terminals. We suspect it may be the work of a rogue agent, and we need your help to decode it. Will you help us?
Okay, I'm going to be honest. Like, hacking does not feel like it really exists within my skill set. I am not an intelligent character, but go on then. What the cog's going on? When you say rogue agent acting for who?
We have been monitoring our terminals closely, and the code appears to be attempting to gain access to our sensitive files. If such files were accessed, the whole system could be wiped.
Okay. So, no specifics here. You know what? Sure, I'll give it a go. Though I may not be able to do this. I'm not good at hacking.
The code has been cycling through our terminal network, but it only executed on the security terminal, which is now completely locked off. If you can locate it again, perhaps you can figure out what it changed the security terminal's password to. Good luck.
So, okay. This might be a bit like, yes, that weird mission that shows up in the Brotherhood bunker back in New Vegas, where you're also chasing some rogue code around a terminal. So here's the master terminal, the back of the room. Even with a master hacking, we can't get into that, so we need to actually figure out what the code is. But every terminal needs, oh dear, I'm sorry, guys. I think this one's up to you. Like, I literally don't have the skills to do this. And I am... Oh, hang on. Hang on. I've found one terminal I could do something with. In this world of ruin and disarray, when chaos reigns and skies turn grey, gone are the days of order's sway, what word fits this grim display? In London's heart a city's demise, a single term that underlies the end of days in this grand size, what word shall now arise? I mean, all of these basically mean the same thing. Apocalypse Day could be referred to as, ruination, cataclysm, or apocalypse. I mean, I'll say apocalypse. Apparently that was correct. I'm not sure why it was correct, but it seems to be correct. So, okay, hang on. Hang on. Can I interact with any of the other terminals? Because all of them are marked as locked. But I was definitely able to, do something with one of them. There we go. And right. This might be, yes, a series of tests about London history. So, Horatio led an Admiral's Pride, and Horatio Nelson, Battle of Trafalgar. So, okay. What word in London does reside? Well, if you're mentioning a Horatio, you mean Trafalgar Square. It may well be that I need to... Oh, hang on. That one wasn't working, but now it is. In London's veins they both reside. One keeps order, the other to ride. Metropolitan. This is the Metropolitan line, which is one of the tube lines, but also the Metropolitan Police is what the London Police Force is called. So, right, answer is definitely Metropolitan. Oh, this is a fun little London quiz, I love it! And then, skyline of London, sleek and tall, a modern marvel, standing over all. That's the Shard, which is, yes, a very famous London skyscraper, and actually the building you start underneath. The first Angel Lab in the game is underneath the Shard. Nice easy one here. Just need to, specify the term for a land from London to Cornwall where Shakespeare was. I'm pretty sure the answer's England, actually. That one's a fairly simple one. In War's shadow, minds convened, codes and ciphers, secrets screened. Bletchley Park, right, we're talking about cracking the Enigma machine at Bletchley. So if you know some basic British history, yeah, these are not too difficult. Within London's tapestry, a regal scene where kings and queens in a grandeur convene. That's gotta be Hampton Court, presumably, especially with, Tudor and Georgian mentioned and whatnot. There we go, Hampton Court. I think we've almost got them all at this point. And okay, this is a bit of an odd one, because there is a very famous ancient yew tree in Scotland. But, a yew is specifically mentioned in the poem on the 6th line there. And it would be weird if the answer was the same thing that was mentioned. But it's got to be the yew tree. So, okay, we successfully got that one right, though it was really weird that the answer was literally in the question. Anyway, I successfully solved the quiz. You're welcome.
Now you must enter the password into the security terminal and wipe the code. That should give us back access to the system.
Alright, so there's the master passcode. Beautiful. Presumably, that was the one at the back of the room over here. Marvellous. There we flipping go. And the door opens. Spot on. So, okay. What precisely is hiding at the back here? And, oh! Smythe's terminal. Maybe just stumbled across something related to... Right! Not only Smythe's terminal, but restricted for the Wayfarer's eyes only. So, okay, it would appear that, yes, she, knew I'd be the only person who would be enough of a protagonist to take care of this problem or whatnot. I've always had an inkling it would be you and only you capable of penetrating my impenetrable fortress. However, this game of cat and mouse has persisted too long. It's time to end this. The wheels of the defense protocol have already been set in motion. Is this room about to explode or something? Oh, uh-oh. Right, I just walked into a trap. Okay, that's fine. One legendary Atkins, so we can work around you, my friend. So right, we've got crits for the time being. Take down that trencher. There was definitely one legendary. Though mysteriously you seem like less tough than some of the others, so take you down. Take you down too. Gosh darn it, the legendary... Never mind, I thought he regenerated, but apparently not. Relentless 9mm. Is that worth a bothering with? I mean, restoring AP on a crit. That's pretty good. Is it better than freezing, though? You know what? I'll take it, but I may not use it when it comes to it. Still, keep on keeping on. Let's get back to, yes, the whole reason we came here. The NuSkin facility, and what did just strike me is, back in Fallout 4, of course, there was a mission attached to the whole changing your face McJibble as well. The guy who was initially handling the process went a bit bananas and was doing some rather unpleasant things. So, right, this might be Fallout London's take on the same concept. And here we go. Stepping inside, we begin a new skin, new you. So, right, we've got Miss Crake here. Random unnamed member of the Gentry, one a bartending robot. So, hello there, Miss Crake. How are you doing today?
Hello, dearie. Welcome to the NuSkin, where our goal is to build a brand new you. My name is Miss Crake. How may I help you?
And okay, tell me about the procedure, though. Where'd you get the replacement skin from?
Oh, I'm afraid that information is confidential, dearie. But I can share a few details if you're interested. The replacement skin is obtained through natural means and has never been exposed to sun or radiation. NuSkin is an industry leader when it comes to cruelty-free cosmetics. You'll never need to use cosmetics like Siren's moisturizer ever again. Does that answer your query, dearie?
Okay, that's actually a bit more interesting because I was assuming this was going to be as simple as, oh, they're kidnapping poor people off the streets and then tearing their skin off to sell to rich people. But if the skin's never been exposed to sun or radiation, that suggests, yes, you're getting it from people who've never been outside. Suggesting you might have, I don't know, like a human farmer down below or something. So, right, this could be going somewhere really cocky dark. Go on then, tell me about the procedure.
First, you are given a complex series of anesthesiacs to ensure the process is as painless as it can be. Then, your skin is removed, safely disposed of, and promptly replaced by youthful, wrinkle-free skin. Our results speak for themselves. Shall we book an appointment, dearie?
Oh, go on then, why not? Sign me up to the Nightmare Monster procedure.
Wonderful. Please head in and speak to our lovely nurse, Nurse Peggy. She'll help you with the next few steps. I'll see you later, dearie.
Alright, mosey on my way. Let's go have a nice chat to Nurse Peggy. And if possible, yes, we need to have a poke around, see if we can crack open some doors into backstage areas. And here we go. One door. ID card reader. So, right, even with a good lockpicking, we can't break into the backstage area that easily. All we need to do really is, yeah, find a security card so we can break in. Have a poke around. Right now, just some basic ammo and whatnot. So, okay. Keep on keeping on. Where precisely is Nurse Peggy? And also, any highly suspicious... Oh, somewhat suspicious giblets. Then again, if they're literally like cutting off your old face to put a new one on or something, you would expect there to be a small amount of leftover flesh. Yes, that is true. And sadly, another dead end here. We got ourselves the director's terminal. However, can't do anything with that. Once again, my hackings are letting me down. And it would also appear the entire process is run by robots. Robot receptionist, robot doctor. So in which case, who, if anyone, is pulling the strings behind the scenes?
Hello, hello. Welcome to the NuSkin. How may I help you?
And alright, I'd like to book an appointment, please.
Wonderful. You're just in luck. A few prompt spots have opened up recently. I can get you started as soon as today. The procedure does have a price tag attached to it. 100 tickets. Do you accept the charges?
Oh, that seems like an absolute bargain.
Magnificent. Thank you for your payment. Let's begin. Take a seat in the surgery chair to start. New skin, new you.
I feel like something... Oh! You just took 200 tickets there. Okay, bare minimum, I'm being absolutely ripped off here, so, alright. Shut the door, sit down. Man's gonna get, you know, the opportunity to change my face a bit. Or is something much, much worse going to occur? Okay, for the time being, nothing too bad actually, though, do appreciate I'm still wearing my spiky shoulders when I don't take off the pencil that's on my ear. So you know what? I might take advantage of this opportunity to, you know, just remove one of my scars or whatnot. Oh no, actually, right, I can't. Because I was about to say, I'll get rid of the one on my cheek, but I'll keep, you know, the scar on the forehead. But it turns out they're all part of one scar called the Cursed Clown. So right, I'm sorry, but that has to stay. Right, well in that case, let's go the other way and give myself a scar on the other side too. So a nice big cross. Beautiful. So let's say I'm happy with that and see what nightmarish thing happens next. Okay. Looks like I stand up. Nothing too bad occurs. I am in fact, you know, as I should be with my brand new scar. Good job, a robot friend. So okay, we've been through the process, and if you just hand over your caps, you get the work done. And see if we could dig into a few more bits and pieces by speaking to her further.
Through a secretive, cutting-edge process, we at NuSkin will cut off your old skin and replace it with youthful, wrinkle-free skin. If you'd like to know more, I suggest speaking to Miss Crake over there. It's a trade secret, however, so I wouldn't expect to get any answers out of her either.
Okay, you're definitely getting the skin from somewhere. Question is, where from? Potentially, do you yourself not know?
Now, unless one of us were to go downstairs, this line of inquiry is rather pointless, isn't it?
Okay. Downstairs, you say? So go on then, give me a key card with my charisma of 5. We could go have an explore.
Well, I suppose it is not against my programming to let someone else go downstairs, right? Here you go. Please do be careful, and do tell me what you find.
Right. Key goes in here. Door presumably opens up in a second. I feel like this door was just supposed to open, but then it just sort of didn't. Oh yeah, I've checked around the facility. There's no other places to use that card, so fine. I think I know the solution here. Behold the power game of clipping being turned off, allowing you to just go straight through any door of your choosing, which is, you know, a good go-to solution in the event a door just breaks. There we go, now we're through the door, turn clipping back on, the game acknowledges we're here. But apparently, there's a child. Right. Where is this child? What's going on precisely? Hello there, good sir. Who are you, and what horrible things have been done to you?
Whoa, you're so old and wrinkly. My name is Caspian. How are you so tall?
Right. I'm not that tall. Are you some sort of weird mutated perpetual child or something?
Oh, really? Renara told me nobody could be as tall as you are. But she's long gone now.
Okay. So, you've never seen an adult before?
I've seen Miss Crake, and that's it. She told us all about the upstairs and the world out there and what happened to it. Apparently, there was a big nuclear war, right? And Miss Crake saved us when we were just little tots. She brought us here, and she keeps us safe from the radiation and the monsters until we turn 16.
Okay. So this is going to be some sort of nightmare little lamplight scenario.
You really dunno? 16 is when Miss Crake takes us upstairs. Dunno where, but it's supposed to be real fun. Until then, we stay here, where our only job is to laugh and be happy and get massages and stuff like that.
So, right. Raise the children underground, where they're not exposed to any rads or any sun. And at 16, they get harvested. Gotcha. And I'm guessing no one ever came back.
No, but that's not a bad thing. We can't think it's a bad thing because bad things make you sad. Miss Crake says we can't be sad. If we're sad, we frown, and frowns make wrinkles. Miss Crake hates wrinkles. She takes good care of us, and all that she asks for is no wrinkles.
Right. So, okay. How excited are you to go upstairs? Like, do you have any concept that maybe it's a bad thing?
So much! I only have 4 years left. I heard Miss Crake say that when you're upstairs, you get to eat sweets and dance all day, and I'm so excited!
Okay, you know what? I'm going to go now, though. Okay, before we do, bare minimum, let's figure out, yes, if he knows about anyone who may have recently gone upstairs.
My friend Renara did. She was a troublemaker, so I was shocked she got to go up. So lucky!
Right. So leave you here. Crack open the doors. A bare minimum, this is a lock picking here, so that's much easier to deal with. And right, back here. Cells. Protectrons, though, seem to be shell. Doors, or some of them can be opened. Right. Children or young people. Lots of people, in fact. Most of them are without names. And like she was saying, not a single room here has a window. They're all underground, so no sun, nothing that could damage the skin. Bare minimum, though, we do have one terminal here, though. Bloody hell, euthanasia for acne. Because the whole point is they're being harvested for skin. So, if you don't have a good skin, you don't make it to 16 at all. So, right. This place just gets darker and darker. Gotcha. Oh, and it turns out there was a reason everyone was lying down. Yeah, they're being drugged to keep them nice and sleepy and placid most of the time. Oh, and when they talk about donor tissue from the people who were killed because their skin isn't good enough or they're causing trouble, it's not medical donor tissue. Transported to the Prilla Dog food factory for processing. Right, so when at the start of this playthrough, I ate some dog food and I got addicted to it. I was addicted to human flesh, wasn't I? Okay, well that just makes that even weirder in retrospect. So right, I think we now understand what's going on here, and it is deeply bloody creepy. So keep on keeping on downstairs. We need to, figure out what precisely is happening here, though. Okay, peeking into this hallway, it would appear that maybe the upstairs hallway is for the older children on the last leg of their journey before they're taken upstairs. They might be kept sedated more. The children down here, they're younger, and they're allowed to stay awake for longer. So it would definitely appear a much smaller number are asleep at any given moment, yes. Still, if we work under the assumption that, as we go further down we get to younger and younger children, that suggests down in, the lower levels, we might be talking about babies or whatnot, like a very literal baby farm. So, right, things might get worse before they get better. Okay, very literally a baby farm. We got there in the end. Mild concern, though, which is, that is ages 0 to 3. But there's one more floor down bottom. And this door's much nastier and rustier, so, okay, what the cock's hiding behind this one? Okay. Just storage or something. Keep on keeping on. Lots of, test tubes. It's entirely possible that, these babies aren't being kidnapped or conceived naturally. they might be being grown in a lab or something. And there's definitely some sort of science McGibbles going on here, though. Oh. Right. Maybe not a lab so much as a morgue. And I'm not sure what this is going to do, but I'm going to hit the admin override button. Sure, why not? Ah, that opens up the director's terminal back on the top floor. So, question is, what final horrific details waiting for me in this very first terminal up here? Ooh, here's something interesting. So right, psychological conditioning to instill discipline and obedience to make sure they don't have trouble from the donor tissue down below. And by the sounds of it, yes, all of this is in accordance with gentry law. Which does rather suggest potentially this is not actually some horrifying secret. Some people in the gentry might know what's going on, and just not care. Right, well that's even worse, got it. Still, step one, let's see how, yes, Nurse Peggy feels about this if she's literally never been downstairs and doesn't know where the skin comes from.
Oh. Oh my, that's shocking. I'm sorry. I have no mouth, but I feel the urge to retch. Why would she do this?
Basically, money, for the most part, and, okay. Let's make absolutely sure I believe that Nurse Peggy didn't know.
Of course not. I was programmed with the Hippocratic Oath. I cannot physically inflict harm upon humans. Unfortunately, that means I also cannot harm Miss Crake. What will you do?
Okay, well I'm pretty sure she's not a human, she's a robot, but sure, I'm gonna put a stop to this, don't you worry, Nurse Peggy.
Very well. Whatever you do, just know I can't help you fight her. But I certainly don't want to fight against you. Thank you for telling me. Good luck, and I'm sorry. I really am.
Alright, speak to Miss Crake, and I have no idea what she could possibly say that would make me not destroy her right now, but let's give her a chance at least.
It is true. NuSkin relies on a vibrant stock of extraordinary tissue. But our process is truly cruelty-free.
Okay, that does not possibly seem like something you could justify. Like, I think I saw mention on one of the terminals, the idea is, well, the children are kept safe and happy downstairs for 16 years. Sure, they died at that point, but they had a good life up to then, except they only had a good life in the sense of they weren't exposed to radiation or whatnot. They were being routinely drugged and psychologically tortured and etc, etc. So, okay, Miss Crake, you can't possibly believe this.
You labor under the assumption that I am a human. I am not. Thusly, I do not believe in anything. I simply follow my programming.
Alright, so in which case murdering you is in no way morally problematic. Great! Oh, though one thing, if we just dig into some of the options here, where are the kids' parents? Where did they come from?
How do you think I obtained them? Every poor parent in Eastminster was offered money in exchange for the tissue. Almost all eagerly accepted. No questions asked. Would you have rather they continue to live with their doting vendors? However, due to the emergence of the fifth column, we found desperation to be in quite short supply recently. As such, I've had to resort to kidnapping. Not a noble decision, but I am still giving the tissue a far better life than they would have had before.
Okay, great, so this is just getting worse and worse, I love it!
I can see you're too far gone to continue having a reasonable argument over this topic. Therefore, I present you with two possible choices. Option number one. We draw arms and I eviscerate you with my hostile capabilities. Option number two. You walk away and you never set foot in my facility ever again. Either way, we both win. What will it be, dearie?
Right, option one, let's a flippy go. Right, shot, gun, and... Okay, I assumed you were going to be significantly tougher than that, given, you know, what you were saying and whatnot. But never mind, you go down immediately. There's lots of other robots by the looks of it. Okay, there may be a fair few robots that need to be taken care of, but they are basically, for the most part, yeah, basic Protectrons. And also, they're medical Protectrons, which means they don't have range attacks, and they're also slower, so this should not be a problem. Oh, better, I've leveled up from murdering some of the robots. And on top of that, every robot is dead. Now I need to speak to Caspian. Just figure out what we're going to do with all these children. Because I'm going to be honest, there's a lot of them. And also, lots of babies and whatnot. So, what are we going to do with all these babies? Also, Caspian, why are you suddenly inside a cage?
I got caught snooping, didn't I?
Okay, you were out in the corridor, and I'm guessing you're not supposed to be. So, okay. Okay. What are we going to do with you lots? Well, I guess we could tell you to just go. Where are you going to go to? I'm not entirely clear about. I feel like I'm just dumping a whole bunch of children and babies on the street right now with no follow-up plan, but sure, why not?
What? Prisoners? What are you talking about?
You were literally in a cage a moment ago, Caspian. Though I guess, you know, given they've never experienced a freedom, they've no concept of what a lack of freedom actually is. So, yes, there was, like, you know, some kidnapping, harvesting. Maybe we don't mention the skin thing.
Is that true? I can see my mum and dad? I can't believe it! Okay, I'll tell everyone to gather up their things and we'll go out there with you. Thank you for helping us. I didn't even know we were in danger, but you did. You are a good person. At least, I hope you are.
I mean, that's a good follow-up statement because I'm just gonna, like, go and dump a very, very large amount of children in Eastminster right now. By the sounds of it, some parents in Eastminster just straight up sold their children to this facility and might not want them back. And even if, you know, I can convince them to take the children, they might not have enough resources to actually keep the children fed or whatnot, so... Okay, we might not be out of the horror woods just yet. And apparently the person we're speaking to is, yes, Benson Tozer, right here in the art gallery.
It really is true. They're back. He's back. Caspian's back. When I heard the children were rescued, I couldn't believe it. I still can't believe it. You've rescued them. Thank you. 1,000 times thank you. Me and the other parents, we got you this. I know it's not much, but it comes from the heart. You've really changed our lives for the better, mate. Thank you.
Oh, Benson, don't you flipping worry. It gets better yet. If you like rescued children, I've got so many more rescued children for you, including a lot of babies.
Most are going back to their parents. A few don't have anyone to go back to, but it's all right. Ms. Bruner's taking them. She's going to give them a home they'll love. It's going to be hard getting school materials for all of them, but it'll be worth it.
Okay, it sounds like they are willing to take literally everyone. Brilliant! And there we go, Caspian pops up, we pick up some tickets, some XP, and the job is complete. And with that done, there's one more thing I want to do today. Given we've not spoken since I took out Arthur and Ivani, and she did literally just attack me with robots and whatnot, I'm gonna go and check in with Smythe to see what she's got to say, because, as I say, I am getting mixed messages from her right now. Right, back to the office, and presumably... there we go. Telephone ringing once again, as you'd probably expect. Smythe does not want to meet face to face.
Greetings. I trust you're well rested.
And okay, lovely to see you again, Smythe, and yes indeed, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, like a coiled spring in fact.
Quite. I'm pleased to hear you're in good spirits. You need to be in good health, as we have a lot of work ahead of us. As I'm sure you've witnessed firsthand, The situation out there has changed. There's a feverish tension, an emergent frenzy. Decisive action is imperative.
I'm going to be honest, I'm not sure what you're referring to. Carry on, Smythe, what are you getting at here?
While I prefer my employees address me with respect, times such as these call for people willing to take swift action. I am to take direct control of the Lord Chancellorship. For that, I need a royal decree. We want the transfer of power to look legitimate. The salient details are in the dossier on my desk. Call if you have any questions. Be seeing you.
Okay, so, Lord Chancellor, that's the Ministry of Justice, I believe, so, okay, full control over courts, etc. Right, you could do some real damage there, gotcha. Still, I would say with an incredibly complicated plan laid out in front of us, how about we call it a pod there? But next time, right, I am definitely going to be digging into a Smythe's incredibly cunning 4-step plan. And while we're doing that, do not forget to steal everything not nailed down, because it feels like, yes, we are very close indeed to maybe getting the final companion mission from Magic 2. So hopefully you join me for that. But in the meantime, I've been John, this has been Many a True Nerd, and this has been Fallout London. Thank you very much, and goodbye.
Ah, we have got a gate key here, and then we have got... I've made a mistake, I've made a mistake, I've made a mistake, I've made a mistake! This is going to take all of my skill and cunning as a hunter to sort out... Die, you mooing bastards! Die! Die! Go away. Go away, nobody likes you. That was a good idea till it wasn't.